And Tej is also here, who's the expert, is also has joined us from today from Bangalore. I'm just quickly setting up the streaming on our YouTube channel as well, because a lot of folks are waiting for us to join there as well. Yeah, done. Go back to the screen. Yeah, awesome. I just put down my introduction on the chat as well for you. So once again, welcome to the session. We have a very interesting session lined up for you. I'm Rasha Khan, and I'm your host for today's webinar. And I'm joining all the way from Bangalore, India. Just put down my introduction here. Folks who have joined us on Zoom, you can let us know by dropping us a hello on the chat with your name, and let us know where are you tuning in from. So we have a few more minutes before we start the session, so let's utilize this time, right? Let's do a quick round of introductions on the chat. This is a global webinar, so you'll be seeing a lot of folks joining from different parts of the world. And And folks who have joined us in live on our YouTube channel, you can also drop in your hellos and your name and where are you tuning in from on the YouTube live chat box. So please do that, because we'll be looking at the YouTube live chat box as well actively during the session. And also in case you have any questions as well. So YouTube live chat box is also on. Awesome. I see a lot of folks have joined us stages there as well. So that's great. Please keep the introductions coming in. And we'll be basically talking about the Caltech CTME Cloud Computing Postgraduate Program today. But before that, we'll be talking about the cloud computing careers. What exactly is cloud computing? What are the skills which are required to become a cloud computing expert? And what exactly is happening? How exactly cloud computing has become a future-proof career? So Tejas will be, sharing his comment on that. And also, this program is powered by Simplilearn, world's #1 online bootcamp. We have been in the digital skills training space for more than a decade now, and we are very proud that we have transformed lives by empowering people via these digital skills. And the skill we'll be talking about today is the cloud computing skill. And also, there are a few quick ground rules of the session today. So these ground rules are set for you to have an amazing experience throughout the webinar and even after the webinar as well. And in case you have any questions, you can put down your questions in the Q&A box. Now, why the Q&A box? Because as you can see, we have a lot of amazing introductions coming in on the chat here, and we actually might miss your questions here. So that is why the Q&A box. You can navigate it easily if you've joined from your laptop or desktop beside the webinar chat. If you're joined from a mobile, it should be on the top. So yeah, please feel free to do that. Let me know in the chat if you feel confused about it. I'll be there in the chat with you to help you out. And also, the session is being recorded, so you can expect a follow-up email from us with the recording link to view. And you should receive that within 24 to 48 hours post-webinar. And also, there'll be a webinar certificate for attending the webinar. For that, you will have to basically request a proof of attendance. So the session is 60 minutes long, and you can request a proof of attendance by staying till the end. And I'll launch a webinar poll where we will need your full name. Now, why exactly the full name? So this is how the certificate of participation looks like. And this is where we will need your details of the name here. You can see John Smith here as an example. And the topic of today's webinar will be here, and it will be basically shared by Simplilearn. And what exactly can you do with this certificate? So you are attending a very latest trendy webinar in cloud computing. And also this is, a Caltech program preview. So you can share it with your network, like what have you been up to? And you might actually end up finding like-minded folks. And you can also take screenshots, screen grabs, also share that. People are already doing that. You can also tag us simply on handle, and also tag our expert pages as well. People are already doing that, and they are sharing insights about the session if they learned anything new. And yeah, they are actually getting a lot of support from the network. You can also find these people who actually are globally sharing these certificates and insights. And you can find that using the hashtag SimplyGrow on LinkedIn. I share the basically link towards the hashtag. You can go and follow it and also go and interact and support others as well. So I'll do that on the chat shortly. But before that, let me just quickly take you through the agenda of today's session. So the first and the most important agenda of today's session is about you, getting to know a little bit about you, how we can help you out in your cloud computing career better. And also we'll be covering the topic of today's session, how you can launch a future-proof career in cloud computing with Caltech CTME, with the introduction to cloud computing, the skills, the career paths, and the future trends, and then followed by the Caltech CTME postgraduate program in cloud computing program preview, talking about what exactly this program offers, how exactly the learning path of the program looks like, what is the duration, what are the eligibility criteria, what are the projects covered in the program, what are the tools, platforms covered in the program, and also showcasing you the learning environment of the program. So what happens exactly, once you take up the program, the Simplilearn's learning management system will be shown to you quickly. So you have an idea what you're getting into, and yeah, sharing with you the learner outcomes as well about the program. We have a lot of amazing success stories we'll be sharing with you. And also, based on the interest you share towards enrollment, I'll be quickly taking through the enrollment steps. That is where we'll share with you the program fee and the upcoming cohort and the enrollment steps, and also the scan code about the program. So you can just quickly scan and go to the landing page of the program. I'll show you the landing page as well, where you can go and download the syllabus as well if you want, basically for your reference later. And last but not the least, the Q&A. So the Q&A is secure towards the end because we get a lot of questions throughout the webinar, and sometimes it's not easy for our speaker to basically stop and address your queries immediately. So for that, basically we'll address it towards the end, but in case the time allows, based on the time the speaker has, we'll try to address it during the session as well. So yeah, but please don't worry, just have a little patience and we'll answer it towards the end. So yeah, you're basically in for a very amazing session, so folks. So yeah, as I mentioned, the first and the most important agenda of today's session is about you. So let's get to know you a little better now that you have given an amazing introductions on the chat here. I'll look into it shortly. But before that, let's do a quick poll where we would love to know how many years of experience do you currently have? Talking about experience, talking about general work experience, not cloud. If you have cloud as well, that's great. But yeah, general total years of work experience. The poll is launched right now. You can select the most suitable option for you on the poll. And also, folks who have joined us live on our YouTube channel, you can let us know by responding on the chat quickly. Let me also just quickly go through the introductions here on the chat. I see Mirko has joined us from Namibia, and I see Shamin has joined us from Vancouver. Please do correct me if I'm taking your name wrong or pronouncing it wrong. So apologies for that in advance. And I see someone has joined us. Jack has joined us from United States. John has joined us from Jamaica. I see Zohab has joined us from Montreal. Kiran has joined us from India. Tomi has joined us from North Macedonia. Okay, and I work in like a system admin in P Enterprise. Thank you so much for sharing that. Asim has joined us from London. Talar from Pakistan. Luang from Cameroon. A lot more amazing introductions coming in. Thank you so much. And I already can see the AI has entered the chat, the note-taking app. Great, awesome. Last 5 seconds for the poll here because I see most of you have responded. So how many years of experience do you currently have? And I'll just end the poll in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'll end the poll and also share the results with you folks and our speaker Tejesh here. So let's see, like what have you voted for? So 29% of the votes are for 0 to 3 years, 32% of you have voted for currently studying, and 9% of you have voted for 3 to 5 years, and 29% of you have voted for more than 5 years. Wow, interesting balance of an audience I see here. Thank you so much for sharing that. And moving on to our speaker introduction, our expert introduction, Tejesh Siva Subramani. Tejesh here is a Grand Master in AI, Big Data, Data Science, and he leads a 3675 member global team on smart city and military projects. He is an expert in cloud technologies with extensive experience in AWS, Azure, and GCP, and he has over a decade experience of teaching, mentoring, and advanced tech, and has served over 105 plus global clients, including top tech firms. So I think, Tejesh, I think the slide cannot do justice to the amount of work experience and skills you have. We would
Yes,
love to know from you as well, and welcome once again. It's always a pleasure hosting you.
yes. It's my pleasure. And hello, everyone. Um have an awesome session and the roadmap as well as information and how would it benefit the cloud and all, right? Hmm. Yep, dear. And also, one more thing is I am an IIT Madras graduate as well as MS and PhD from New York University. So I'm a doctorate. And yes, I currently have almost 21 certifications in the cloud. And right now, almost 95% of all companies global are deploy their services, their infra, as well as their enterprise into the cloud. So one with the cloud specialization is really in demand right now, and you join the right program. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Tejish. I think we have a very interesting session lined up. So let's start talking about, cloud computing careers in 2024. Starting with, what exactly is cloud computing?
Yes. So cloud computing, right? Wherever we want to, before it was the data centers, we had on premises. But right now, if you see everywhere around, right, we entered from big data era to internet era to IoT era to right now AI era. But one thing has been common throughout the last decade, that is the cloud computing. All our infrastructure, everything that you see around, from shopping, your social media, your booking websites, your even networks, your examinations, your training, everything is hosted in the cloud, right? So cloud computing is nothing but just a delivery of this compute services, which includes a lot of, the servers, storage, databases, networks, and also to find a lot of insight, right? Even though if you do data analytics, data science, IoT, robotics, n number of specializations, that is why we see in each of the cloud services, every domain is right now in the cloud, right? So this is to also offer the fast, flexible, and economy of scale. You don't have to go build an immediate data center spending a lot of investment before. You can just go subscribe, you can launch your infra, make it live, and then uh, start off your startups or companies or products and etc. Right? Yes, dear.
Before we move on to the next slide here, I see a few
Mhm.
questions on the YouTube live chat box. What do we mean by GCP?
Yes.
I
So
may talk about.
GCP is the, uh, you know, all these are cloud service providers. That means there are some big players, right? When you go to buy a phone, there might be some big players like Nokia, which was old right now. Now, right now it's Apple or Google or MI, right? Like that, the cloud computing services, we have the major players, one being AWS, two being Azure, that is Microsoft, and three being Google's GCP. There's even Alibaba. So all these are the cloud service providers, and our master program deals with three of the major cloud providers, that is AWS, Azure, as well as a little bit of GCP. That is Google Cloud Platforms. Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much for answering that, Tejish. I hope that answers your question. I think we saw a lot of questions about that. Moving on to the next slides. Now that we've talked about, what exactly is cloud computing. So let's talk about what are
Yes.
the hottest skills in demand in the space.
Yes. So wherever you see right now, right? Anybody going into the software engineering, anybody going into full stack, anybody going into big data, anybody going into any technology. Now all those technological components are right now hosted in the cloud. So how it's right now projected as some of the hottest skills, right? You need to possess is cloud provider selections, trying to give what like AWS or GCP or this for your clients, your migration of your applications from on premises, the older applications into the cloud computing, building the web services and web applications. That is the software engineering part. Now, the testing part also, which was previously done on the local systems and then on premises, right now you have performance testings for application in the cloud. The next one is production workloads. Maybe you want to go into operations, you want to be an infra deployment, auto scaling. You want to do a migration into a lot of things like Oracle, MySQL, Python, full stack applications, or you want to be a database expert. Previously, even the DBA, right? The database experts. Now, everything is deployed in the cloud. You want to know the services in the cloud and also multi-cloud deployment, meaning the clients cannot lose, their time as well as the resources. So instead of just having in one of the cloud provider like AWS, they want their workloads to be distributed in AWS or in Microsoft or in Google so that never there is a downtime. So all this are some of the hotter skills, and right now if you clearly look, where are you going? Even artificial intelligence, generative AI, your chat GPT, everything is hosted in the cloud. Your graphic cards, Nvidia, right? For your deep learning or AI. So all the technologies are there also. There is one common thing that is present. That is, you need to know the cloud computing. It is a need of an hour for all of us guys going into the next decade also, right? Yes, dear.
Well, that sounds pretty interesting. And now that we've talked about skills, how can we miss talking about the career paths in cloud, right?
Yes. So, what would be the end goal of this, right? The end goal of this meaning, if I would take this program, what would get me the job of that, right? What would be your role? Now, some of the roles are the solution architects. Now, in solution architect, it means that you are in charge of the entire infrastructure. So, in the entire infrastructure, you discuss with the clients, you discuss what kind of applications they need in the cloud, what kind of services that we need to know and deploy, which we will learn in our course. And then one of the major one is the solution architects. The next the next one is cybersecurity space. Now, cybersecurity space, sometime back, at least half a decade ago, it was ethical hacking, it was cybersecurity in specific domains. But right now, it's cybersecurity in cloud domains, right? The word for that is the security specialist. Now, that itself is the number two one. Then, wherever the code is present, you need the DevOps, the deployment from the developer to the operations. That is the transition going between, right? How soon can you release the products with perfect debugging, new features, and all? So, these are some of the DevOps pipeline engineers. Next, you have the highest one. A lot of younger people go into data science and data engineering. And then at one point they get stuck. Hey, wait, did I learn this everything in my laptop? But how do I deploy it or make it commercial, right? For commercial, again, you need to know about the cloud fundamentals, the cloud data engineers. So it's a sad story to know, but they would eventually know. If you guys are in the cloud, you know it ahead now that even if you want a career path in data science, data engineering, the cloud data engineering gives you a lot of services to do the data science aspect of those in the cloud. Then there are machine learning engineers, right? So we are slowly entering into the specializations. Now, machine learning. Next one is artificial intelligence, generative AI, right? So this is like a continuation. You want to do a recommender systems for the entire application in the cloud. Your career part would go into machine learning engineers, right? Your career part, if you want to do and develop, AI models or any recommender systems, different types of you know uh, your what do you call that, different types of compute models, all those you will be going as a machine learning engineer. Next, the networking part. Now all of you might know this Cisco networks or this and that, but right now all those are going little bit, we cannot say like it's going completely out, but the major one has replaced this, that is the cloud computing network engineers. So you might also go into the network engineers. The next one are some of the automation. So your disaster recovery, your template, your automations. How do I secure my systems from failure? Or if something goes wrong, how do I deploy and get my disaster recovery? So it was going under the project management, recovery, disaster recovery, and all. Now we call it the automation engineers, cloud automation engineers. The next one is I want to go into the administrative part of that. I'm a good project manager. Then you can also go into cloud compliance and governance analyst. So these are the various types. Now you understand. I think you're getting to know that anywhere, any part of it, right? The cloud gives you an access into your specialization. Now, if you are a fresher, you need to very clearly choose when you go through our course that what you want to become or where is your interest lying. And then if you are a specialist or if you're having at least a little bit of experience, now, guess what? Your experience path will give you through one of the way and a role into the cloud computing, and that would increase your skills, your salary, as well as a good career transition. Yes, dear.
Well, that sounds pretty inspiring and interesting, talking about the careers here.
Yes, dear.
And moving on to the future trends in cloud computing. I think you have already talked about AI,
Yes.
Like if you go in basically, basically go into the cloud
Hmm.
computing field, is AI going to take away your job, or is
Yes.
it like a benefit?
So
Like,
one general rule is AI is never going to take away your job, but people who skill up fast, learn cloud and learn AI tools, they will be replacing other people, right? So it's never that AI is going to replace others' job, but it is people who use AI or modern technologies are going to replace other people. Now, let me tell you, under my experience, a lot of people who have stayed up with the latest technologies, with the latest skills, they survive, not only survive, they get good packages, good transition, and good knowledge. So, like that, that is why this future trends. Now, some of you might be searching up, hey, what are the future trends? What technology is dominating? So, like that, some of the technologies are your edge computing, content delivery networks, meaning your low cost, but your global application distributions, so edge computing. So these kind of things go on your financial services, your Netflix, your a lot of global applications, edge computing. Next, AI and machine integrations. So these guys also integrate into the cloud technologies, the services, the basic of the cloud you're supposed to know from our course. And guess what? All of these future trends are there in one or the other projects. Now, including the quantum computing. Now, you got a lot of industry level complex mathematics to calculate. You got compute resources, quantum compute resources that you can provision and run your workloads and get the results. Similarly, there's something called as serverless, where you don't have to worry about, hey, my systems are running continuously. Should I pay them 24 hours? No, it is like now, pay for what you use, how much compute you do, right? Similarly, focused on sustainability, certain type of increasing deployments, and certain types of security measures. So these are the future trends. And guess what again? The cloud technologies play a crucial role in not only infusing those future trends, but also applying it for your benefit, your future. Yes. Yeah, dear.
thank you so much, Tejas, for taking us through cloud computing careers here and introducing us to what exactly is happening in the cloud industry. So now that you are here, clearly you're interested in cloud and you're curious about what's happening in cloud, and you maybe you want to even pursue a career in cloud. So we would love to know what exactly is stopping you from becoming a cloud computing expert. So I'm just launching a quick poll, and this one is a multiple choice poll. So you can select multiple options and submit your, challenges or concerns on the poll, which is live right now. And yeah, I'll just read out these options for you. For folks who are watching us live on YouTube channel, you can let us know by responding on the YouTube live chat box. So the first one here is, I can't find a program with a fully comprehensive curriculum. And the second one, I don't have the practical exposure I need to become job ready. And the third one, I find it difficult to learn from pre-recorded videos. And the fourth one, my work schedule won't allow me enough time to learn. Let's give it 10 seconds for the poll. And obviously, if these are not your concerns, we are open to your concerns in the Q&A box, which will address it whenever the speaker gets time or towards the end. We have already started getting some interesting questions here in the Q&A box. So please, keep sharing those questions. Please don't hesitate, and they will try to help you out, as much as possible. Awesome. Last 5 seconds for the poll here. I see most of you have responded. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me quickly end the poll and share the results with you folks and our expert Tejas. Let's see what have you voted for. So 51% of you have voted for, I don't have the practical exposure I need to become job ready. Makes sense. A lot of you who have joined, might not have an experience in the field. 41% of you have voted for, I can't find a program with a fully comprehensive curriculum. And 30% of you have voted for, I find it difficult to learn from recorded videos. And 35% of you have voted for, my work schedule won't allow me enough time for learning. That makes sense. A lot of you who have joined us are working professionals as well. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. That definitely gives us and our speaker understanding, how he can also address your queries during the session. So introducing you quickly to the postgraduate program in cloud computing by Caltech. Caltech is the California Institute of Technology. I'll be talking more about Caltech, but before that, what exactly this program covers. So this program comes with an industry-aligned learning path. We'll be talking about the learning path in detail, how exactly this program builds your skills step by step in cloud computing, and also we have integrated labs and projects. So I think the highest amount of votes we have gotten for the practical experience option, right? So that makes sense, but this program actually has hands-on projects which you can work on. We'll be talking more about that. What exactly are these projects? How exactly these projects are helpful? And also the format of the classes are live virtual classrooms, most of it. And there are pre-recorded videos which actually help you with clearing out the basics before you even attend these live classes. I'll show you the learning environment of the basically program from Simplilearn, which will give you a clear understanding of what exactly happens when you take up the program. And also the program duration is of 8 months. So you can just complete by giving 10 to 15 per hour week. In case you are a working professional or if you have other commitments, this program is very flexible that way. Also talking about the Caltech advantage here. So the Caltech CTME advantage is basically the California Institute of Technology is a 130-year-old institution. I don't know if you folks have heard about Caltech before. You can just let me know by responding yes or no on the chat. Have you heard about the California Institute of Technology before? I don't know if you guys know Big Bang Theory, the TV series. I don't know if you guys know like folks, basically the people who actually lead the series, they actually used to go to Caltech. Basically, one of the best scientists in the world, are produced by Caltech, and it also ranks in top 5 universities worldwide. And it is a home of alma mater and Nobel laureates. I think you can just make out from the Big Bang Theory. It was basically, short. Yeah, exactly. Sheldon is from Caltech. And having a Caltech CTME on your CV is a prestigious achievement, which should be recognized worldwide, if you basically add this to your CV.
Yeah.
Moving
And
on. Yeah.
one more small information here. So all of you, like, we have this very interesting question. So if there is already a lot of cloud programs and individual cloud, why take this program, right?
Yeah,
Now,
exactly.
let me give you a very clear understanding on this. Okay, so it was because of Caltech. I myself am from an Ivy League college, and also like others. So we all uh, ignite minds came together. We discussed like, hey, so there are already a lot of programs offered. Now, how can we improve this, or how can we better this, right? So the series in which later uh, Rasha will cover too, the sub electives of those and the capstone projects of those your and also I would be showing you a small CV, your resume differences, the skills. You would be learning almost 51 services from AWS, Azure, and GCP, so that you are aware of multi-cloud deployment, which is like a lot than any other one that offers. And the second one is simple, the project style, the individual. We go on by divide and conquer methodology. So once we learn one part, the capstone projects, by end of this course, you would have almost 11 to 12 projects. Now, if you're an intermediate to senior person, along with the Caltech name itself, next they would obviously ask, hey, what did you do or what is your experience? Now you can easily tell if you are fresher to experience, you would be having almost 11 projects in your hands and all over deployment into your specialization career. And if you are fresher and not knowing where to go, you would tell, hey, I'm an all-rounder guy. I know AWS, Azure, and GCP, and I've done projects on all these domains. So really, I don't have much experience to do where, but I'm still ready to do all the all-over projects. In your cricket team also, the all-rounders are the ones that's actually famous, right? They get higher salary package. So these one are actually gonna happen. Yep. Yeah, dear.
Thank you so much for adding that, Tejas. And also, our expert Tejas has been actively addressing your queries in the Q&A box as well. So, folks, please go and check out the responses and let us know if you have any follow-up questions. And we are open to questions about the program as well. So, talking about the eligibility and prerequisites. So, you may be from a non-programming background, and also we prefer to have an associate bachelor's or master's degree because it's a BG program, and also no prior work experience is recommended, but it is not compulsory. Obviously, if you have any kind of experience, it always acts as a plus, right? And if you don't, it's totally okay. We will be covering the basics in the program as well. Moving on to the next agenda, talking about how this program by Caltech CTME prepares you. Starting with the learning part of the program, so Tejas, we can take us through how exactly this program builds the learner's
Yes,
clouds.
dear. So just continuing to where exactly I was talking about, right? So whoever subscribes for the course, right? They will always start with an orientation session, the fundamentals of the cloud computing program, meaning you are just a new bird starting into the cloud domain, the cloud world. So what are all are there? Because what better than knowing the roadmap, the divide and conquer methodologies, the projects that you're going to see, and the modules that you're going to cover. And then we have almost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So four electives and one capstone. In the four electives, we are going to start off with, say, AWS, the Cloud Fundamentals, and Solution Architect. These are two electives. So that you understand first what are the core services of AWS. And then once you start understanding the core services of AWS, what happens? You are getting familiar with one cloud service. Now, if I teach you how to drive a Suzuki car, right? Slowly you'll get handle how to drive that Suzuki car. But then next, I also train you, hey, there's also Toyota car and Acura car. So why don't we increase your riding skills? And we show you a different car. You would start observing that it is almost the same, but the interface and everything changes. So that is why once we slowly start conquering AWS, slowly we'll transition into Azure terminologies also, Azure world. Now, once we go into from one cloud provider to the other cloud provider, your mind starts working that, hey, are these how the cloud service is being deployed? So there are various specializations, there are various core services, specialized services. There is compute technology, containers technology, serverless technology, container distribution technology, data engineering technology. Oh, so I'm starting to understand all this. So it is like step by step. And once you start reaching the AWS fundamentals, solution architect, that is the professional level, then you go to the easy 104, which is again the fundamentals of Azure, and then you go to the expert level, that is easy 305. Now, once you understand the whole domain of AWS as well as Azure, then you go on to the DevOps on AWS. The reason we are going on to just the DevOps, you can ask, hey, what about DevOps on Azure? Now, that is the choice you make. Once you learn the DevOps on AWS, right, you will be able to do DevOps on Azure also. And then you have how do we deploy the multi-cloud projects? Because a lot of the people might learn individual, but then a master architect will only be knowing how do we deploy multi-cloud deployment. Now, if he's an expensive client, if he is a premium client, he will not say, hey, I need AWS, I need Azure. He will tell it is my infrastructure. I want it to be the most secure. Why don't we try multi-cloud deployments? Right? So there we go on to have projects into multi-cloud deployments. So these are how it goes. And then you have your electives. So you're going to select at least three electives or four electives. Depending on your experience, you can select, or if you're a fresher, there will be career guidance programs, there will be continuous feedback programs, inside discussions. You will be part of a Slack channel that you and your colleagues who have subscribed for the course would be communicating and discussing there. You would have a lot of help. And then once you go to this way, you yourself will first discover yourself into this technology. And once that happens, the next is history. You'll start going into escalation mode, and then you will start increasing your skills, your projects, and your career. So this is how it goes. Yeah, dear.
Thank you so much, Tejesh, for taking us through the learning path. And also, we have a lot of electives here. I'll show you that in the learning environment as well. The Caltech Cloud Computing Academic Masterclasses, the Google Cloud Platform Architect Training, Big Data on AWS, Cloud Security, CCSP, DevOps on Azure, and developing solutions for Microsoft Azure, and AWS Developer Associate, AWS SysOps Associate, AWS Database Migration, and Generative AI Masterclasses. So again, these electives are optional. They come as a part of the program, but it is up to you if you want to take them out. Moving on to the next slide, talking about the tools and the platforms you'll be learning from this program. Sorry. So Tejesh, if we
Yeah,
can
dear.
comment on this,
Yeah,
please.
dear. Which is addressing the questions. Yes. So what we will learn the tools and platforms, right? Now here, just a very vivid, small description. Okay. One is the compute, the major computes, virtual machines. So in AWS, we're going to learn VMs, and then in Azure, AWS EC2, and then Azure VMs. From this, we can deploy a lot of web applications, web servers inside the EC2. Then what we have, we learn the networks, the storage, the databases. So these all compresses as a core technology. With compute, storage, networking, and database, you can create a lot of applications. Once the program starts, you will also know within that there are four levels of deployments, right from your single cluster machines to your multi-easy, meaning highly available systems, along with highly available database read replicas and fault tolerances, which perform as a most secure infrastructure possible. From this style, you would slowly transition into the specialized tools. And then you will also learn the administrative part of that, because client will not be like, once you define and develop the application, they will not be like, hey, everything is fine. They would ask perfect reporting, because they are all process centric. They will require you to develop an infrastructure as a code. They will want you to make and monitoring and backups. They would want you to secure the premises of all application and monitor. They would also want a disaster recovery plan. So all this goes hand in hand, along with you will learn something as what is identity and access management, also who will have access to what. You will be in continuous monitoring. So there it is just like the departments in your course. There are further modules. There will be 8 to 10 modules in each electives. Some the basic foundation ones will have only 4 to 5. The professional ones will have 8 to 9. So here all this comes as a tools and platforms you will learn. And just like 1 second here, may I just share the screen over here, right? Yeah.
Sure, sure. Let
So
me stop sharing. Just a
yeah.
second.
Mm.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. So this part I'm just going to show you. For example, you might be a fresher, intermediate, or an experienced person. Now, one of the resume was looking like this. Now he's from a good college. He's done actual pretty good projects, and then his experience was also in an internship, very good. So he had a little projects to showcase, right? But that was it. Now he's searching for a lot of things, a lot of job opportunities, and then he landed up in one of our program. Now, after this, what happens is we have a resume build also, meaning all the technical skills, whatever we learn, we will be defining it as a clear motto. Now, he's from a programming background. Some might be not from a programming background. If he's not, he can skip this. But then all of you guys will be learning what are the AWS skills, what are the Azure skills, and then increasing your things. What they see now is in the interviews, they will go past your education or they will go past your experience if you're a fresher. They will start seeing, okay, this person has all the skills from AWS and Azure, and from here I can go ahead with developing mine. Similarly, one of our other program also, right? I'm only taking the most, the freshest of the freshers, and then they landed up with a very good package and they follow the protocols, right? So he has also gone through all these courses, and you can see the project done are also, he has just put 5 main projects. There are still, but you will see that we have a skill certificate. You see over here how many skills you will be equipped with, and this will help the HR, the job portal, ATS machines, screening machines, as well as your own self. You will get motivation that, hey, I've learned so much. My next thing is to revise and go conquer the projects, right? All these skills are what is learned after the course is complete. And then your project also, we would be showing in terms of how properly the projects are also put, right? The project abstract, the services what we used, the projects as we done, and then a delivery note. So all this, when you go through, there is a difference that you will start understanding now why Caltech program and why Simplilearn. That is because professionalism at its best. You all need a secure package to showcase yourself and then go ahead in the competition, because the competition is very much, if you are only properly equipped with all this, you are able to crack the interviews and complete your things. Yeah, dear, you can uh, share your screen.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Tijish, for showing us, the example of
Yep.
how your resume get transformed. Before we move on to the projects part, we actually have a really good question on the YouTube live chat box.
Mhm.
Will this program be a good option, for someone who actually is from cybersecurity field?
Yes. So, like I tell you, if even you learn a lot of cybersecurity tools, cybersecurity concepts, and a lot of penetration testing, even I have cleared one certification related to penetration testing, but later soon I found out that, hey, wait, every enterprise is in the cloud. Now I need a cloud specialization also. So once I cover this, the basics of all the fundamentals to expert level, now I am very clear on where I can apply the security concepts. So you have to go to the same program, but you have to choose the elective as AWS security specialty, because there is no bypass of, if I do not know how the cloud is, what services are there, how it functions, then how can I provide security to it? So these are the basic things. Now, one advantage for you is you don't need to do a lot of coding and too many projects, but you can be very fixed into my target is security. So I would focus more on the security aspect of it. Yes, dear.
Thank you so much for answering that. I hope Dinesh on YouTube live chat that answers your question. Also, talking about the projects, right? I think you've already talked about a lot about it already, but what exactly are these capstone projects and how exactly these capstone project help showcase their practical
Yes.
experience?
So one very uniqueness of our program is, if you see, now Simplilearn is the biggest, and the big, you can say, a family of very successful people. So here we do not trust in, I am teaching you 5 projects and you are the only 5 projects you can go and do. While every mentor, including me, where we start off with a project, we would mimic the real life scenarios. We are not here to teach only those 5 projects. We are here to teach, if this technology, this domain approaches, then this is how end to end you have to start with the project and do a project closure, implying the services. So that when you join the job, when they discuss on the project, what data sets or what projects or what domain or what specialization, immediately you don't sit there like a duck, but you be like interactive with them. You start saying, hey, I understand the architecture, now I think we can do this, we can do that. Then they start interacting with you, so it equips you not only with completing the capstone project, but it equips you with dealing the real life situation to build the entire infra and deploy it. Yeah, dear.
And also moving on to the, so many projects we have here in the program.
Hmm. So over here you can see, these are just one of the few projects. You can see multi-cloud connection architectures, the highest in demand. Meaning, what is the expensive car? What is the expensive phone? Like that, we have the highest project demand in the entire global one. That is, clients require multi-cloud connection architectures, multi-cloud deployments, right? That we have it as the first and second. Then we have a web application for, this is for the developers. Now, how do we deploy not only just an application, but a uh, a highly available global application, so that you might end up in building an very critical system, healthcare, or critical system financial application, CRM, ERP. Still, then you can handle it and you can understand it, and you will coordinate with your project manager and the team very well. And some of the others are also, we have data projects, we have automation projects, we have the database and ERP system projects. So like this, many things. Now, why do we have many projects over here? So for one course, are we going to do many projects? We have options over there, but we are going to show you the solutions for all, as well as There will be some pre-recorded videos for showing those. If you belong to the general category, then these are some of the things that you definitely need to know. If you want a specialized category, we have other projects under the end, full end to end. You can go and do that. Now, we just now had one person ask about security. We have a project related to the entire securing the infra solutions, logging metrics, as well as the Sentinel of Azure. Now, he can go focus on his selective project. So, those are the types how it would go on. Yes, yeah.
Moving on to the next slide here, we have global leaders as program advisors. Rick Hefner here, who's the Caltech CTME Executive Director, has over 40 years of experience in systems development and has served in academic, industrial, and research positions. And also John Betts here, who's the Cloud Computing Program Director, has over 30 years of experience working in the industry, government, and higher education. So they basically make sure that Simplilearn is delivering as per standards of Caltech. Moving on to the next slide, showcasing you the learning environment of the postgraduate program in cloud computing by Caltech CTME. So now we have talked about the program. So, but what exactly happens once you take the program, right? So I'll just quickly move on to the LMS. So this is the learning management system provided by Simplilearn. And you can see this is for the PGP program in cloud computing by Caltech. And this is where you can see how you can unlock your progress for basically getting the certificate. You need to pass at least two course and projects from two different courses. And also you need to complete at least 65% to unlock the certificate. Now, quickly going to the courses section, the modules we have. So Tejas has already covered the learning part of the program. So those are the things you'll be seeing here. And I think a lot of questions, right? I think one of the concerns was, I don't want to basically learn from only pre-recorded videos. So here we have actually a blend of live classes, self-learning and labs, practice labs. And most of it is live classes. Self-learning videos are basically to help you clear your basics before you even attend the live classes. So let me do one thing. These are the learning parts which we have already covered. In case you want to check it out later in detail, I'll share the scan code of the program. You can go and download the syllabus later. But I'll just do one thing. I'll just basically open one of them and I'll just show you what exactly it looks like. So the first one here will reflect as a self-learning section, which I mentioned earlier. And you will be able to see a whole basically page of self-learning, section here, lessons here. And right now it is not visible because there is an ongoing cohort and there is an upcoming cohort which we are actually talking about. But I'll just quickly show you what exactly the learning self-learning videos have. These are the basically one of the modules they cover, and also there are live classes as well where you can basically access it, all the available classes which are upcoming here, and also ones which you have opted for, which can be visible here. And in case you want to go through the past recordings of the session you have attended, you can go to this particular section. So again, like there are assessments as well. As Tejas has mentioned, that this is basically mostly hands-on. With the program we have here, you get basically a lot of test papers and course and projects to work on. And also there is a compulsion, to basically cover one of the projects here to in order to get the certificate. And there are reference materials like ebooks, lab guide, practice. Again, like I'm just talking about one module. There are many modules which we have covered, in the program. And we go to the practice lab. Maybe like Tejish, if you can share with us what exactly are these practice labs?
Yes. So you don't have to worry about your own lab, giving in your credit card details and having your own infra. Now, if you're starting off with the cloud services, we have our own lab wherein we just deploy the lab and we start using the credentials. So you don't have to really go have your own lab, maintain your own projects, do the billing and all. So once you pay the fee for it, the fee of the course, it also includes a lot of credits. That is, your almost 10 to 20% of your fee would go for having credits in Azure and AWS almost for 11 months or 8 months, so that you can go and do the practice a multiple number of times. So it just gives you our lab offering also, simply. Yeah.
Thank you so much
Yeah, yeah.
for talking about the labs here. And then there are multiple labs and projects present in the modules here which you can explore. And also electives. I think I've already talked about electives. This course has so many electives here. The generative AI masterclass. It also has a live classes and self-learning section here. And then there are basically other electives here which we have covered already. There are Caltech masterclasses as well. GCP, Azure, and yeah, this is how basically you can unlock a certificate.
Yeah.
I'll show you how the certificate looks like in a moment, but there's a help section available here. Where you can go and basically, drop in your queries. And in case you have any questions, I think you should get a response within few minutes. And it can be anything about the program, the labs, any problem you might be facing with the program, and we should be able to help you out with that. So moving on to the slide back here, and
Yes.
yeah, learner outcomes is the next agenda. Quickly moving to the learner outcomes here. So interestingly, previous classes have consisted of learners, coming from world-class organizations like IBM, Deloitte, Microsoft, Abbott, Oracle, Amazon, Infosys, just to name a few of them among thousands of them, and diverse industries like IT, software product, BFSI, e-commerce, many others. And also talking about the success stories are learners, right? So let's quickly go through, few of the success stories here. Among many of them, I'll share the link with you of the program, which you can check out other success stories as well. So France is here, who basically shares with us that the program was amazing. He was able to grab a job change with a 40% salary hike, and the live classes were well planned, and the concepts were clearly explained. Jumna Sura here shares that the course helped me with my career growth. I got a decent job offer with a 50% salary hike after a career break. And Douglas here shares that after completing the course, I have significantly improved my work performance, and I'm also expecting a promotion and a salary raise sometime soon. And we work with the cloud majorly. And after completing this course, I could propose better strategies based on the learnings from this program. Now, quickly moving on, why not hear it from the alumni themselves, right? So I have a story to share here. This is basically, about Salah, who basically upskilled in cloud computing with a 60% salary hike. So I'll quickly play it for you. Let me just open the link.
I would
Yeah.
be permanently moving to Europe with my family soon. Simplilearn schools has helped me back a great job offer there with 60% salary hike. We cannot wait to start our new life in Finland. We are all so excited. Hey, I am Salahdin Quadra and I am currently living in Nigeria. I'm working as Chief Information Technology Officer at Iris Tires. After working for 23 years in IT sector in Nigeria, I felt that my career had become stagnant here. I wanted to experience what it's like to live in Europe, so I started applying to various jobs there. As someone who is responsible for making the decision, I wanted to upgrade my skills. I also realized that to get a new job, I needed to have a professional certification in cloud computing. So last year, I started the postgraduate program in cloud computing in association with Caltech from Simplilearn. It's not easy to get access to Caltech, but Simplilearn provided that with this course, I had the choice to study while I continued with my job. I learned technologies like AWS and Azure during the course. Luckily, my new employers were looking for someone who knew these technologies. I have just completed the course, but my new employers were aware that I was taking this course. And that is how I got this new job offer with 60% salary hike. In Finland, I will be leading the cloud computing unit of my new company. I'm really excited, not just for myself, but for my family as well. I have $3. I think I will be able to help them with their higher studies in Europe. As a father, you always want to make decisions that have a positive impact on your children. As for me, I'm going to live my dream now. I think dreams come true when you work hard to achieve them.
I think totally agree with that. Dreams do come true when you totally, work to achieve them. Moving back to the slide, I hope you liked the story and, a few of the success stories which I've shared. You can check out others as well on the page.
And
Mhm.
one more
Yeah.
small info here. So for all of you here also, you might be from the mixed batch, freshers, intermediate, freshers and intermediate between and experience. Just understand this one thing. You have to get your skills increased. Now, I spend almost a lot of money for MS and PhD and all. And I wished if I would had a chance like this program before, I would have learned a lot of hands-on and increased the same skills that the bigger things offer for. So one side is the same advantage, and the second side, your once your resume and skills increase, if you're looking in for a serious career transition, it would be easier. If you're looking in for your career path transition, it would be easier. Or if you're in some roles and position and you're looking for a better opportunities, it's like a master of all trades, the cloud computing. It would somehow and anywhere help you guys in your next career transition. Just here.
Totally agree with that. Thank you so much for sharing. And talking about the industry trends here. So, as I think we have clearly known, the cloud industry is growing, and it is basically, has become $500 billion industry in 2023. And we can see an average salary of a cloud computing professional in the US of 130,000 K, and also 130,000 K dollars. And also there is a 90.1% CGR, which is expected to increase, up till 2028. Also, the companies, that will be hiring: Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Netflix, Masterclass, American Express, Adobe, just to name a few of them. On top of them, I think we have talked about numbers, but also let you just show, what are the real numbers right now, right? What are the jobs available in the market? So let's see what are the jobs available as of today, in the cloud computing sector. So I have just, kept, two basic tabs open for you just to quickly show you. This is dice.com. Here you can basically see mostly global jobs, mostly in the US. I know a lot of you have joined from different countries, but I'll try to show you as much as possible, but you can check it out yourself later on as well. So for cloud computing, I searched here, and I'll just, as you can see, uh, there are almost 17,000 plus jobs only in the US region. Almost, you can see the companies which are hiring for cloud engineers, cloud computing advisor, senior advisor, and entry level positions as well. So there are almost 70,000 plus jobs here, which you can see, which are basically, available here. And this is just to give an example of, the real time numbers here. So, that this is the real thing. There are cloud computing jobs in demand. Now shifting to Noki.com, which basically has like Indian region openings here. So I've just searched cloud computing here, and you are able to see as of today, only in the Indian region, you can see there are almost 4,707 jobs available here in the cloud computing sector. So again, like all kinds of job in different locations, and again, like top companies: Accenture, Microsoft, IBM, as you mentioned, PwC as well. So you'll be able to see a lot of these job openings here. So yeah, this is just to give you an estimate of the real time numbers in the cloud industry, and as it is growing, as we're talking about that.
And
So moving.
one more small information there is, see, we also have Simplilearn's uh, career program, meaning our target is you are actually spending um, and then learning from us. And then we have the flagship program. And you know what? There's also an in-house almost 406 companies in Asia Pacific, as well as almost 1,200 in US companies. So we have our own in-house that we provide you the assistance and all. Now,
Yeah.
more than this, why all this they're showing is because once you have the course and the skill, once you have your resume ready, once you have your projects ready, now you yourself can fly. But we will guide you through what positions, and not only in one or two, but we have almost a list of 10. So, our in house, various job portals, and how to prepare those. So, the moment anybody sees the HR or the interviewer, he has clear, crisp idea of what you have gone through, how many projects you have done, and what are the services and tools done. Because there are some real life experience that happens in the live classes, wherein even if the interviewer has a doubt, hey, you don't have experience, can you do? Then you will be like, sir, have you gone through my resume? There are only 9 domains and 3 master clouds. All of those I know, and I am right now an all-rounder in front of you. I am job ready. So maybe you can give me a chance. Even that would be your dialogue, because he also has practical idea that after seeing, yes, and once he tests you, you would be explaining everything at ease, and then that is how you career transition also. Yes, dear.
Totally agree with that. And also, I think you already mentioned. So for Indian region, we have I am Jobs Pro membership, and for the US region, we have Talent Inc. as partnership. So you can explore that. And yeah, so basically, you cover the resume here. We also prepare for the interview. There is an SME assigned to you, and there's a wide employer network, which this has already talked about. Yeah. For Indian region, we have I am Jobs Pro, and for US region, we have Talent Inc., which provides the same service. And just to summarize, at the end of it all, you'll be getting a Caltech CTMA postgraduate program certification. You can see here on the screen. This will basically be by California Institute of Technology, and your name will be here, and it will be for the postgraduate program in cloud computing, and it will be accredited by Simplilearn. You can see Hedrick Hefner, who I've shown you, who's this basically the director at Caltech, and also Krishna Kumar, who is the CEO of Sabrina. And you'll be covering over 40 plus projects for your portfolio, including a capstone one, and basically get to choose from these many projects, and also receive up to 15 CEOs from Caltech CTME. That is equivalent to 150 hours of learning, which can be utilized later on. And also, you get to be a part of the Caltech CTME circle membership. So not only just attend the classes with your peers from around the globe, but you actually get to be a part of the network even after that. So that's something pretty huge and interesting. Networks is always useful, right, for lifelong. And also, the convocation will be happening online, so that makes it very memorable. And you can not only invite your closest friends or family, but also your far relatives and friends as well to attend this convocation and make it more memorable. Also, we have already mentioned that there's a job assist program through Simplida. Through the partnership we have for the Indian region, I am Jobs Pro, and for the US region, Talent Inc. And yeah, exposure to prompt engineering, ChatGPT, generative AI. How can we miss that, right? So this program covers generative AI master classes as well. So yeah, so now we would love to know your interest in enrolling into the Caltech CTME postgraduate program in cloud computing. I know a lot of you have been waiting for that. So I'll just quickly launch this poll, and you can respond as yes to share your interest. And after this, I'll just quickly tell you what happens. I'll take you through the enrollment steps. And once you share the interest towards enrollment as yes, the learning consultants from Simplilearn will reach out to you, and they will, help you enroll into the program. So what exactly are the steps? What is the fee of the program? What is the next upcoming closest cohort, which is already filled. We do have few seats left in case you're looking for, joining the next upcoming cohort. I'll share the date with you as well. And also the fee option. So in case you are not able to pay it all together as well. So we have installment options available, EMI options available differently for regions. So we have partners. I'll share the scan code of the program. You can go and basically check it out for your own region as well. So what finance partners we have, which and also the learning consultants from Simplilearn will help you out with that as well. You can nudge them about that. For folks who are watching us live on our YouTube channel, you can also share your interest towards enrollment by basically going to the description
And
of this.
one more small thing, dear.
Yeah.
So I just came across a very good question. So, uh, is it online or does also in-campus take place, and any advantages for in-campus? Now,
Mhm.
let me tell you, since COVID, okay, 2020, the choice of on-campus or online was far advantageous, as well as the company also required that.
Mhm.
Because on campus, okay, it has value. At the same time, right now the company is looking at non-bias, meaning, do I have an online, do I have an offline? No, they see how much skills you have, how much projects you have done. You can go to campus and do, or you can do the online. But if I am saving 10 times the cost and then learning a degree and increasing my skill, then understand, the companies look at that, how much coursework you have done, how many projects you have done, and all this. So that is the most important thing all of you should know. Now the age is gone where, hey, on campus, should I spend? See, even myself, I spend almost 70 lakhs. And then I'm at the same position where my younger brother, who has done an online, same from our Simplilearn itself, he's also almost at the same level going by, right? So there was a live interaction in my own family too. So That is one thing you all need to remember. Okay. Yes, dear.
Thank you so much, Tejesh, for sharing that with us and also addressing questions here. So last 10 seconds for the poll here. So would you like to enroll into the postgraduate program in cloud computing by Caltech CTMA? You can share your interest as yes. I see a lot of you have already shared, but just last 5 seconds for the poll. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And folks who are watching us live on our YouTube channel, I see a lot of yeses there as well. So what you can do is you can go to the description of this YouTube live video, and on the top itself, you will see the link towards enrollment into the program, the same program with page which I've shown you as well. And I'll also share the scan code as well. So you can go there and also enroll into the program by sharing your free details. So moving on to the enrollment steps very quickly. So there are 3 simple, easy steps you'll have to follow. The step 1 here is you'll have to submit an application to us at apply at askus@sim.net. And or the step 2 here is your Caltech will be reviewing your qualifications based on the eligibility and the requisites we have shared with you. And step 3 here is we basically will be sending you the learning basically offer letter from the learning consultants from Simplilearn. So these are 3 simple easy steps. I'm just sharing with you so you're aware what's going to happen next. So when the learning consultants from Simplilearn reach out to you. Also, the enrollment schedule and the program fee here. So the for basically for the US region, the program fee here is $3,999 including GST. And as I mentioned, there are EMI and installment options available for that. You can go for as low as $333.25 per month. And for Indian region, we have the fee here of 1,59,000 INR rupees, including GST. And here also you can go for EMI options for as low as 5,411 INR per month. And the next upcoming cohort, which is the closest one, which is almost filled. If you are interested in joining, the classes will be starting on 3rd of August and the induction will be happening on 19th June. And if for more assistance, you can reach out to us at askus@net. And I'll just share the scan code link after this Q&A for the program. You can go and basically, go to the program page, download the syllabus, because I know a lot of you have shared interest towards enrollment. So you can utilize that link scan of the program page and download the syllabus and make sure that, in case you have any questions, please do address that to the learning consultants from Simplilearn and they will help you out. I'll also share the mail ID here as well. In case after the webinar as well, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them and we'll help you out. So yeah, moving on to the Q&A. I think Tejas has been super fast. I don't know how he has managed to address a lot of questions during the session. But please do go and immediately check out if you have not, and let us know if you have any follow-up questions. So Tejas, I think I see a lot of questions here, good questions here. Maybe
Yes.
we can, we have, I think we have exceeded the time, but maybe let's take only a few minutes to just summarize it quickly to help them out. The
Yes,
questions.
dear. Yes, dear. To answering, you guys can ask the questions too.
Yeah, sure. Let me just quickly go to the Q&A. And also, like, if you have any questions, let us know. You can let us know in the Q&A on the chat box as well. Yeah, let me see.
Yes. I've answered almost all. Maybe you can pick up some questions or
Sure,
others
sure.
also. If you
I'll
guys
do that.
have any other question, yes. And yes, my LinkedIn ID also I'm giving here. So that would be mine. And then the duration of the course is 11 months, 8 to 11 months. Yep.
I think someone asked if I can complete it in 4 months. That's not possible
Yes.
because it is designed in a way because it's not like only you are
Yes.
in the class, right? It's a live classroom and you get
Yes.
to attend it from, folks from around the globe and you
Hmm.
get to interact with them as well. And you also get to be part of the alumni network as well, right? As I shared.
So
So I
if
think
anybody from seniors and want to complete in 4 months, maybe you can complete first the AWS, start for the lookout, and then slowly complete the Azure and then increase your portfolio. So that would be the things. Yep. Hmm.
awesome. I'm just looking at the questions here.
Hmm. Yeah. And the duration, yes, 11 months. And then others also, if you have any questions, you can.
This one is a really good question, Tejas,
Mm-hmm.
right? I think you've already addressed it, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
pretty sure folks would love to also know the answer to this.
Mm-hmm.
What is the future of cloud computing with the invention of AI to the world?
Yes. So the simple thing is like everything is now recommender systems, search and consolidate and give, or transformer machines, which is nothing but in simple machines trying to answer you, machines trying to guide you. Now, where are all your domains in the cloud? Where are all your enterprise in the cloud? Now then building this AI and then it is like man with machine. You are more productive. So learning the cloud technologies will help you not only to deploy but do a little more complex task. So just imagine you're like a human cyborg and there is no way that artificial intelligence will replace our jobs, but it is only people using AI will replace other jobs. You got to know that, yeah? So it's like that.
Sure, sure. Thank you so much. I think we have managed to address a lot of questions already in the Q&A box. We'll move on towards the end. Folks waiting for the webinar certificate poll, I'll just wait for like a minute or so more. I would like to thank Tejesh, for taking us through the session and actively addressing all the questions here. Thank you so much. Really appreciate your knowledge and your basically the comments you have shared about the Caltech program. Would you like to say something to folks who have share interest towards enrollment and they might be looking up to a career in cloud?
Yes. So thank you all of you. And one thing I gotta say is always increase your skills. And cloud is one all-rounder, um, course that will get you there. Do not think for the other aspects. Think for where do you want to see yourself in 3 years. It would become very clear for you. Where do you want to see yourself in 6 months? Where do you want to see yourself in 3 years? So that would help you and guide you. The entire spiritual forces would help you to achieve the success there. And going to the course, the hard work, and anything would also be very beneficial for you, at least in the next two domains, in the 2 decades. Cloud technology is that powerful and must. Yes, dear.
Totally agree with that. And thank you so much, everyone, for being an amazing audience. Now, folks who are waiting for the webinar certificate poll, I'll just quickly launch that. I shared the details about Tejas as well. In case you want to share insights about the webinar, share the screenshot of the certificate as well. You can, go also tag Simplilearn, use the hashtag SimplyGrow. I've shared details in the chat and also tag our expert Tejas as well. So please do that. And also, we have these amazing sessions throughout the month. And, Tejesh also does a lot of these amazing, interesting topics, with us. So I'm giving you early access to these webinars, and you can check out the link which I've shared on the chat, and it will take you to the basically program landing page of the upcoming webinars. And before we do the webinar certificate poll for your full name, we would love to know how was the session for you. So how was the session for you? You can rate us as well out of 5. How satisfied are you with the content of the session? How was the session with for you? And I hope your questions were addressed. You can rate us out of 5, 5 being the highest, 5 being the highest. If you're extremely satisfied, you enjoyed the session. And so yeah, like please do let us know. I'll just give it like 10 seconds more. So you can rate us 1 to 5 and 5 being the highest if you had a good experience, if you liked the session. I see a few amazing comments already coming on the chat here. So thank you so much. And a lot of, I see a lot of activeness on the YouTube live chat box as well. So I see Sayed responding, awesome webinar on the Zoom chat here. So thank you so much, everyone. And even after the webinar, if you have any questions, you can reach out to us at askus@sync.net. I'm sharing that email ID on the chat with you here. Please feel free to drop us a mail. And I hope you have scanned the program page link code. That will definitely help you in downloading the syllabus. Or you can go and search it by the name Postgraduate Program in Cloud Computing by Caltech by Simplilearn, and you will be able to find it.
Yes, dear.
I see
And
Paris has responded on the chat as well, sharing his experience. I can tell you how amazing you guys were. So quick with query, so interactive. Kudos to you guys. Keep going. Thank you so much. Appreciate your response. This is all for you, Tejish. Thank you so much.
thank you, dears, and
Awesome.
wish you guys. Yep.
So, thank you so much. We'll be ending the rating poll now. Last 5 seconds. How satisfied are you with the content of the session? You can rate us out of 5, 5 being the highest. If you're extremely satisfied, I'll be ending the poll in 5 seconds. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Webinar certificate poll upcoming next. People who have been waiting for that. I'll basically be launching a poll now, and that will ask you for your full name. So you can go and enter your full name in that poll. So the poll is live right now, and you can see the certificate here, how it looks like, and I need this part. Basically, this is the part I need from you. So we make sure that we get to basically, personalize the certificate and send it to you. So please do that. And let's give it like 10-15 seconds. So there's enough time for folks, to fill up the poll here. So you need to do that in order to receive a proof of attendance for this webinar, and we'll need your full name to send you the certificate. So yeah, let's give it 10 seconds more. I see most of you have already started responding. That's great. And also, thank you so much for the appreciation here, folks. I hope you enjoyed the session, and you folks have been a very amazing audience. And I think a lot of interesting questions, came throughout the session. We also enjoyed it equally, addressing your questions as well. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for being an amazing audience here. Okay. Awesome. Last 5 seconds for the poll here, folks. To basically receive a proof of attendance for this webinar, please enter your full name, which is on the poll, which is live right now, and make sure to submit it. So yeah, so last 5 seconds. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me quickly end the poll. Thank you so much for sharing your responses. Now, even after this webinar, once it's done, you will get a post-webinar survey pop-up, which will have only one question. What can we do to make our webinars better? So please do feel free to suggest any topic ideas you might have, you would want us to see cover it. And we are very open to it. We, consider the suggestions you gave and pass it on to our experts like Tejesh. And, we come up with these amazing, interesting sessions, which you can check out on the link which I've shared as well. You will see a lineup of such amazing sessions, lined up, which you will definitely enjoy. You will learn something new when you attend them. And yeah, let us know if you have any feedback as well. So thank you so much. Thank you for being an amazing audience. Have a good night, good day, good afternoon, wherever you're joining us from. Good evening. And thank you so much for your support. Thank you for amazing comments. Thank you so much, Tejesh, once again.
Yep.
Thank you. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you, Rasham. Thank you, all of you guys. Yep. See you.
See you. Thank you.